Try to remember where we were. Haven't looked at this in a few days. I'll probably mostly do some refactoring tonight. Let's try to break up our cursor table a little bit because it's been bloated for a while. And then let's also refactor our map constructor such that we are able to implement a restart level menu option. I think let's start with that, see how far we get. See here. I guess first, let's just real quick make sure our game didn't burn down again. Oh yeah, we animated that thing. I forgot about that. Yeah, what did we do? I haven't looked at this in a while. That's right, our camera is cool now. It's very neat. It's actually pretty nice. Alright. Game did not burn down. So let's see, we need a constructor for these maps. Because right now we're just passing in a literal. And that's not going to do it if we want our restart level option. Because we're just going to be reloading the same map state object if we were to reload. So we need to wrap this in a constructor. So let's do something like this, I guess. Is that it? That might be it. Maybe. No. am I not seeing? Oh, whoops. Whoops. It's game.apps. And here. Okay, cool. So we wrap all of our maps in that constructor. Okay. That didn't take long. Let me think. We want... Wait, is this right? The constructor works. We might have to change this up more. Let's, I don't know. Getting the constructor written, though, was definitely the first step. So, that's fine. Let's stub out a reset map function. We'll no-op that for now. What's that menu item thing do? Okay. There's our placeholder. That is a no-op. So now, let me think about this. Maybe we can do... See, the load... Maybe we want to change the load function. Because now we're creating our maps with this constructor, but we're still just using this constructor to add them to game.map, so we still haven't made any improvement there because we'd still add the same object to the maps table, mutate it, and then reload the same object, so we didn't actually accomplish much yet. Let's see what load is doing here. I actually think I want to change what I did. Let me back out of these changes. This isn't correct. Back out of those changes, so I think what we want to do instead is this. We want to, when we're loading a map, this is where we want to call that new constructor map. What do we call it, new? I think we want to do that. So then we have a, yeah, we're going to have a new object by the time we get to game.map. So then when we go to restart level, maybe we can do this. Game.maps.load game.state.map. Seems like it should do it. So let's see here. First of all, we can still progress through the game. Okay, so now let's change the state of map 1. Remove some stuff and reset map. That didn't do it. What is units move doing? I did reload, didn't I? Oh, wait. That's weird. So it moved the cursor back, but it didn't move the units. The units now track their own state independent of the map, but I would have thought we'd have new units. But I guess we don't. Fundamentally, the thing is that the units have their own state. So when we load, we also need to reload the units. So let's see. Make it player one's turn. Refresh the game units. Or reload. So game dot units. Wait, there's also game dot map dot units. Hang on. There's game dot map dot units. What's that gonna do? All right. Oh, there's game.maps and there's game.map singular. Well, that should still be covered, I thought. That should be overwritten there. This is a new map. No, it's not. Wait. No, it's not. No, it should be. This is weird. We should have a new... So if I'm understanding Lua right, which in all likelihood I am not, by the time we're here, we should have effectively copied this table and assigned it to game.map. Game.map contains the units, so why aren't these being reset? Though the cursor position is. Let's see if the camera is resetting. So move some units, move the camera. And reset the map. The camera moved, the cursor moved, the units did not move. What does that mean? Cursor's at 31.0, camera's at 16.0. Reset, cursor's at 1.1, camera's at 0.0. So it's just our units that aren't being reloaded, which is really weird. Wait, I'm manually resetting stuff here. What's this all about? Now that's sensible. Ping.map.cursor.x. So this, yeah, because I need to propagate this map data into the other tables, but that means that this map data is set as expected here. So I don't know why game.map.units is not. Or in cursor and units, game.map.units. That's weird. And this is a table, and these are tables too, so I don't think it's like a weird nesting thing or something. I don't know what this is all about. I don't see how we could be... We can't be modifying these original maps at this point. That wouldn't make sense. Weird. Just out of curiosity, what is this going to do? Game.map.units is an empty table. That doesn't make sense either. It's like this constructor. I don't get this. There's game.maps, plural. There's game.map, singular, which should be the current map. somewhere I like have to be mutating game.map.units. That's the only thing that would make sense. If I were somehow mutating that and then initializing a table that accepts that mutated table as its prototype, I would see what we are seeing. So that's probably happened. Hey Noctis, how's it going tonight, man? Good seeing you. We're trying to patch in a reset map menu item here tonight so far. I have to mutate game.maps somewhere. I'm doing pretty good. I'm on PTO tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. Gonna take my car into the shop for an oil change, and then take it easy and probably work on this guy a little bit tomorrow. So I'm doing good. Doing good. Map.units. Game.map.units. I have to be mutating this somewhere. It's probably in cursor. There's so much garbage in there. Nice. Yeah, I think you're gonna like Go the more you use it. It like I said, it took me like 2 days to figure out what should have been the easy stuff, like how to make a program that spans a couple of files, right? Like with sub-packages and stuff. But once you get all like the Go path stuff set up on your machine, and once you learn like how Go programs must be structured, the language itself is actually pretty easy to learn. Let me show you something too. Something to take a look at. Is this guy. That provides... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That's a document that I found that kind of made everything click for me. That's like the standard way to lay out a Go application. And when you look around at some of the bigger Go apps like Docker or K8s or whatever, you'll see that it's very common to conform to that directory layout. And I really like it. It's very intuitive once you understand the reasoning, and it's very just consistently enforced across the whole Go ecosystem. So what I find is that there's a lot less like ad hoc decision making, like questionable decision making within your average Go project and your average PHP project or Ruby project or Python project or whatever. So yeah, for what it's worth, maybe skim that guy, because I think that's a pretty valuable document to become familiar with. I might eventually do some Go programming on stream. I consider Go these days to be my more or less primary language, my preferred language, and I have one open source project in Go that's fairly popular that I could work on here, but I don't know if like Go programming would be too boring or whatever, because like, you know, programming streams in general aren't really a thrill a minute, but at least like when you're working on game stuff, there's like, it's kind of visual at times anyway. I don't know if Go programming would be just too boring or what. I don't know. Though I suspect a lot of folks that watch these kind of streams maybe are working on their own project at the same time and are just kind of you know, half watching and working on something and maybe trying to learn a little through osmosis or whatever. 'Cause that's what I've started doing recently. So maybe if it's boring, it's not all that bad anyway. I don't know. Okay, somewhere, where am I doing it? I know what the problem surely must be, and I am surely mutating game.maps.units somewhere, and then I'm creating a shallow clone of an object that I've mutated, and I'm seeing the mutation propagate. That has to be what's happening. So where to do it? It's maps, right? Game.maps. It is not start map. Yeah, it's not any of them. The maps draw. I don't get it. Do I have this, like, cached somewhere accidentally or something? I just don't understand how this could be happening. This is bizarre. Very strange. We are adding to game.maps this literal table, which contains a unit definition We know that we aren't mutating these values because when we reassign them in load, they're correct. Game.map.cursor.x. We're successfully resetting these values. So surely we're resetting these values. I don't know why we wouldn't be. Is this unit? This, I don't know, this wouldn't make sense, but I just want to see what this is going to do. Because again, maybe I fundamentally just don't understand something about Lua. That should break? Yeah. Yeah, this is stupid, but I'm gonna do it. Stupid, but I'm gonna do it. Just want to make sure that that isn't somehow allowing this to persist. Okay, right. These don't have to move. Yeah, I can't do that. What's not working? So we're trying to make it... I implemented this just now, this reset map. Why did that happen? Reset map menu option. And it's exhibiting strange behavior, which is again making me question if I understand how Lua actually works. So we move these units, and we can see that, you know, our cursor, our camera, our units, they've all been moved. I hit reset map. The cursor moves, the camera moves, but the units do not move. And I don't understand why, because I've modified the maps.load method such that when a map is loaded, it does not pass the game.maps object directly, but rather uses the game.maps object as a prototype, or, well, no. Now there is a map prototype, and wait a minute. See, maybe this is where it's... No, that can't be right. Well, yeah, so the units stay in memory. But see, that doesn't make sense, though, because the cursor value... So we have camera, cell, and cursor. And these properties are a sibling of units here. And these guys... These are being reset successfully. So I don't understand why these are reset successfully when these are not. Because again, now that we've created this new method, we're not anymore mutating this object directly, or well, this object, right? We're not mutating this. We are, if I understand Lua, making a copy of it, and then assigning that to game.map, which is the current map. So, like, it would make sense, sort of, right? If I hit reset map and nothing changed. But I don't understand why it's only the maps. Oh, sorry, it's only the units that aren't moving. And here, okay, so it's like we're reinitializing these values, but we're game.cursor.cell or whatever, but we're reinitializing those from this object. So it seems like this should be working. And yet it is not. I wonder, like, where are the pixel values? Maybe something... That wouldn't make sense. What am I doing? Maps? Units draw? There's game.map, so we're iterating over game.map.units. Lua doesn't make copies unless you do a deep copy. Is this not... Okay, that's not a deep copy. And this is working because we're never actually mutating these values in the first place. That would make sense, right? We're mutating game.cursor, but we're not mutating game.map.cursor. So my trick I thought I was creating a deep copy here, but I'm in fact not. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that would, okay, I appreciate it. That actually makes a lot of sense. So how do you make a deep copy in Lua? Let's check that out. I wonder if Pick Away has any... No, it does not. Yeah, though. Yeah, okay. I appreciate the pointer. Yeah, you're right. That would absolutely make sense. These are reinitializing because they were never mutated in the first place. Try setting a default unit and then setting them to different tables values. Yeah, so the way the units are initialized is that with each map, we have a table of units that contains units that are initialized with these properties and this constructor. So this is like our default unit here, our meta table or whatever. So really, yeah, I think I do just need to figure out how to make a deep copy with map.new. And it's kind of weird to me that the constructor idiom doesn't make a deep copy, because what does construct even mean if you're just pointing at the prototype? You never use meta tables. Does this look like... I mean, this is the idiomatic way to make the equivalent of a class constructor in Lua, isn't it? That's what my book said, but again, I'm very new to Lua personally. I guess the problem is like this logic here. Yeah, hard to type it in chat. Yeah, of course. That's totally fair. I guess this is the problem here, though, right? It's the u equals u or empty initializer. It's like we actually need, like, to do the copying, because I guess if we do u equals u... Oh, I think I read in the manual. Yeah, maybe that's what's happened. I think I read in the manual that tables in Lua are always anonymous. So I guess... Yeah, this is going to be the same bit of memory that effectively just gets decorated or something when it's passed through there. I don't know. You create a new local object with the function and return it and put the functions within the local object. Okay. So is this not what you've seen then before? Like, put functions within the local object. What I saw, again, in the chapter on object-oriented programming in Lua is that you'd take an object and you'd set a meta table on it so that now you have kind of a factory, but each object produced by the factory can point to these methods. And again, you know, obviously our methods are being called successfully, but clearly this isn't working precisely how I thought it would, because it's just not doing that. Take that. I see. With that... Yeah, okay. My only concern here, and not that it's a big one, but does that mean that each, in our case, each unit would have to allocate memory for each function? Because we're in Pico 8, and the advantage, I think, again, I don't know what I know, of this approach is that that's one way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I would like to try to save memory where possible, just given that it's a very scarce resource for us. Oh, hey, Siberius. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that self thing is this, right? Where you use the colon. I thought the colon was syntactic sugar for like this. Unit dot move would be, well, like whatever unit. I think. Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's like this, right? Where we're using the colon, you're just implicitly passing the object as the first parameter to its method. Yeah, okay, right. Alright, cool. Cool. I appreciate it. You definitely have a better grasp of this language than I do. So I think we just need to change our constructor. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So let's... I think we just gotta change this guy and make a deep copy of you when it comes in. Call this our map definition. So we should be able to do use an empty table, and then let's see what this does for us here. For key val in pairs def do u key val. Let's see what that does for us. Maybe that'll get her. Didn't do it. Man. That's weird. I wonder if it's... Earlier at what point? Because I'm very surprised this didn't work. This again, I clearly don't get how Lua actually moves objects around. Change each of the units to a table. What I don't understand is how that isn't being accomplished here. Isn't that pretty similar to what we're doing right here, though? We're passing in a map definition, which looks like this, and this is just a table, and it contains a table of units. And see, I would assume that this is doing a deep copy, but maybe this too is just passing... It's just making a shallow... This is still going to do a shallow copy? Is that what we're... It's pointing as a reference. Okay. That's weird. So, like... It's like, how do you actually make a deep copy? You essentially overwrite them. Okay. So is it... It's just setting the other vowels again. Okay. So is it true that object assignments in Lua are always by reference? Like, just always? Is that how it works? Because I guess that would explain the behavior we're seeing. I just didn't read that anywhere. Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. So we're gonna have to... Man, that's inconvenient. It's kind of unfortunate. I guess I could, like, make a unit clone method or something. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We didn't do anything productive here, did we? Let's back out all that. I don't think we have access to like a JSON library or anything in Picoet either. In JavaScript, you know, there's that dirty trick of like JSON encode, JSON decode, and then it looks like into ref on line 19, what your reset function looked like. On line 19 of... Yes, the intention... So, game.maps is a table of every map I've defined, and game.map is what I would like it to be, would be a deep copy of just one of those maps, such that resetting the level just initializes a new one and overwrites that. That's what I'm going for. But again, it looks like what I've tried so far has put me in a position where I'm just... it runs... Yeah, where'd I put that? Oh, that's in main, I guess. Yeah, it just... So the reset map function just reloads the current map. We're just tracking some game.state.map thing, and it's all pretty gross and I hate it, but we'll clean it up in a little bit. But yeah, like really all I need to do is just somehow get a deep copy of the map of a map table. Take a look at that. I don't think I have access to table. Wait. Yeah. Is table unpack though a standard library function? It is. So I don't think we have access to that, unfortunately. Because Pick-08 only implements a subset of the Lua language, and that subset excludes the standard library, which is slightly unfortunate. But I mean, I agree with what you linked, though. That is exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. Go to the units. So this is the actual initializer, and then this is where the units are placed within each map. Change units from a table to a function. Oh, like in here? So we're invoking a function that generates a table? Is that what you're getting at? And then that'll be, yeah, reinitialized. Yeah, okay. So what would that mean? So on load, I would just need to... Yeah, to load new ones, yeah. Though why does that logic not apply to everything? Can I just wrap this entire table in an anonymous function? And what's an anonymous function even look like in Lua? Is it... I actually don't know what that looks like. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Is this what an anonymous function looks like in Lua? Is it just function and then some stuff and then end? Is that it? Because like, can I just wrap each map? Okay, yeah. Because if I can just wrap each map in an anonymous closure. I guess that would be fine. Function, okay, it is that. All right. So let's try that, I guess, just so I don't hit this problem with some other property. Where are the units stored? Yes. But again, I have two different maps currently. I have game.maps plural, which is a table of every unit definition. And then I have game.map, which I want to be a deep copy of one of the map definitions, and in game.map is where the actual state changes are made during play. like so the problem with that approach, again, I think, is that I don't have access to table.insert. Because I don't have access to this standard Lua library. I think you're on to something though with just using anonymous functions to return new objects. That's probably fine, right? The only issue I could maybe think of, again, this is kind of in the guts of Lua that I don't understand, but I don't know if we'd have a memory leak if you reloaded the map a bunch, but I don't know. Well, I mean, here's a question. Can I... Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want this to be the definition of the map, but not where we actually track state. I want that to be a deep copy of this. Let's see, so why can we not... I mean, we can't... Yeah, see... Yeah, that's the thing. Here it's easier to see what I do have than don't, probably. So there's the Pick-A-Wait API, and what I do have to work with is Lua the language minus the standard library and minus like the module system. I really wish I had some JSON thing, because I do the, you know, like the JavaScript dirty trick of like JSON, like foo equals JSON decode, JSON encode, whatever. That whole thing, I'd do that if I could do it, even though it's kind of shit. So it doesn't quite, though, I don't think, because that's what I'm doing here. Wait, no, I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at. Okay. So you're saying do this. On load, do... I don't know why indents are off. It's weird. Game.map is an empty table, and then loading should actually be add game.map, and then we probably don't even need this constructor at this point. I should just take that out. But you're saying do that, right? And that's gonna... Let's see. Wait, that won't... Is that gonna... Let's just see what that does. I think I understand what you're getting at. don't even have to do that? Okay. What are you thinking then? I just want to see what this actually does. Crashes, okay. Add all units table that's empty. Okay, and then just iterate over the units in the original, and then is map 1 the place? Because we do have multiple maps, so like maybe we can do like this though. We can do like game.map.units is, well, no. Yeah. See, here's the thing that sucks about that though. So back to, like you're saying, like all units is here or whatever, right? The thing that sucks about that is that we have multiple maps. So like here's a second map. Oh, not there. Okay. Inside the add to the map. Okay. So then, are you sure that add? Are you sure that add's going to do that though? Because we're calling add when we're passing. When we're loading our maps into our game.maps table. And we're still getting shallow copies there, so do you think we're actually going to get deep copies here? That's why it has to be in scope. Okay. Okay. So you want it to fall out of... Yeah, okay. Alright. I think I get it. So you're saying... initialize local all units to an empty table. So after cursor in here in map 1, what property though? Is this where you want all units? Okay. Oh, are you just saying to track the... Okay, you're saying to use, like, this. Like, just create a property for... Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That... Now, when we iterate over all units, though... and we just push them with add, aren't we still going to get shallow copies to these guys? What? Adds the new element. See... I'm gonna just try it, but what I would expect to happen is that if we were to iterate over these guys and add them individually to units and then clear units, what I would expect to have happened is that because these are shallow copies, we would just like delete these or something, but I clearly don't know how this works, so let's give it a shot. Okay. Organize this, kind of a mess. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, so here's some docs, and yeah, okay. So tables are just always passed by reference in lieu of period. Okay. That explains the behavior, even though it's not super helpful. So you're saying units, set units is a function. Yes. Now, okay, so here's the thing though. Wouldn't this just... I feel like add here... Well, the only thing I still don't understand is if add were... Are we going to have the same problem where these tables are still passed by reference, and thus whenever we change... Why would we not, though? That's what I don't understand. Second units equals, so we have global units, So like these are like our game scope units up here is what you're getting at. And then these are function scoped. But see, where do I actually pass in the values for these tables though? That's what I don't get, because like somewhere I have to actually pass in this information, like all of this stuff. Okay. Use your current unit new code. Here, okay. The map where you call the unit new functions. Oh. So like these? Okay, yeah. I'm curious to see. Is it just... What if we just change... So to simplify that a little bit, what if we just change the way we are defining these maps, and we essentially give each map its own constructor that just returns a new table literal? Would that also do it? Because it seems like that would accomplish what this is doing, but also get all of this like cell and cursor and stuff in there, and then I wouldn't have to... No, I would still have to set that anyway, but I'm just trying to think, is that like a more future-proof way to solve this problem beyond just units or something? But actually, here, yeah. What about this? Can you do the self-invoking closure thing in idiomatic Lua? Can you do like function and or something? Does that work? You like return. You know what I'm getting at? Like in JavaScript, you can do the immediately invoked lambda function thing. So I wonder if we can just wrap our whole map definition in that. Doesn't look like I like that. Then we can do this. This is gross, but whatever. Just back out all that, be easier. Wait. Something like that? I don't know. Map.lua 17. No. That's totally wrong. Map 3 on line 36, which does not exist. So the only thing I'm unclear of there yeah, sure, that's fair. So like, okay. So is that the unit.new tables? I'm looking at your paste bin off screen here, so that's obvious. Okay, I'm gonna try that in just a second. Yeah, that I think makes sense. I think. The only thing I want to try really quick here too is, can we take that idea and just apply it though on the scope of the whole map definition? Because like what I'm trying to do right here is just create a function that initializes each individual map and then invoke that function when adding the game map. Maybe game.maps shouldn't even contain... Maybe game.maps should be just a table of functions that can be invoked and have no actual object stored anywhere at all. Yeah. Okay. But it's like the same idea as what you're getting at, and that you just use a function to initialize this that you can re-invoke. Would this not work? Function map2 would that not work? I'm just kind of curious what this is going to do. Again, this is a disgusting implementation of this idea. Okay. You think it will work? Okay. Disgusting implementation of the idea, but we can refactor it later. Okay. You're saying before units, add units equals... where do units equal empty table? I don't follow you there, because this should return a new literal every time, right? In line 8. Like this? Oops. You don't mean that, do you? Is that valid? Because that's the same... Really? That's valid? I would assume that would fail because it's the same property, just... Why does this by itself not overwrite it? Because that's what I would expect. Let's see if this runs at all. Yeah, I'm sure I need to change this a little bit. Map.lua line 29. Blew up. Need a way to remove them. So if you don't... Yeah, it's not liking that. Well, let's see, I don't know if this was... Okay, this alone didn't accomplish anything because all we've done is... We just wrapped a constructor around the object literal and then we used add to put it to game.map, so we still have game.maps. Yeah, okay, right. So let's just fix this for map 1 only. These are globals because this is all disgusting. So, but if we did that right, this should work. Yeah, right? Okay, okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I think we're getting there. Let's double check that. So let's move some crap around. Let's move everybody. Just so there are no surprises. Move everybody. Okay. So we got guys over there. Let's move the camera. Let's move the cursor. Everything's moved. Reset. Okay, okay, that works. That works. So now this is like the most disgusting implementation like possible. It's horrible. But this is the idea. We changed game.maps not to be an array of maps or a table of maps, but rather a table of map constructors. And then we invoke the constructor and we get a new literal every time we invoke that constructor, as is evidenced by this horrible thing we've done here. Still table of tables. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it is. It is. But what is the language in Lua? Is it that you say that the tables are invocable? Is that it? Because I know, like in JavaScript, you would like every function is an object, but some objects can be invoked or something. Is it the same way in Lua internally? Is that the idea? By the way, Knox, I really appreciate the help here. You surely know this language better than I do, and I probably would have wasted a night or two trying to figure this out. Cool. I'm glad. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So what I've done here that I should not have done... Actually, this isn't too much. So I invoked the functions here. That is not correct. I don't want the function output, I want the function. And then here, and I can even get rid of this constructor, I think. Then we don't want that at all, even. Actually, we don't want that. What we want is game.map equals, for the hell of it, I'll put this back for now. Game.map.new invoked, and that should invoke a constructor. Nope. What a break. Map on line 9. Oh. That probably wasn't the problem, but... Map on line 9. I don't even want this. Just take that out. Line... Game.maps.num, and I think we can... Okay. No, you need the function call in add. Yeah, you might not have seen. I put the function call here, so now we're passing in the function rather than its output, and then we're invoking it here. So I think it's the same. Yeah, no sweat, no sweat. So we're moving stuff, and we're resetting the map. Now, the only thing I hate about this is there no way just to do this? Like, what I want is just an anonymous function here. Can I just not do that in Lua? Because I just want like a closure. It does work? Okay, let's go to map, what was that, map 3? Make sure that... Yeah, right. Okay, great. So this won't even be that big of a refactor. And actually, this will end up smaller, which is very nice, because again, Pico 8 has some real constraints on us, so we're gonna... Well, we might end up battling against, so it's nice to Nice to keep that in mind as we work. I don't know why indents are all screwed up, but the linter will get that. Watch, let's make sure I didn't break this. Good. I think I can get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this entirely. Get rid of that entirely. Get rid of this. This I do need because that's a different object. Those are different objects. Okay. Let's see where that got us. So map 1, let's move some stuff around. Go over here, reset map, good. Next stage, move some stuff around. Reset map, good. And then I never did put units on map 3. I think that got it. Yeah, excellent, man. Thanks again. Thanks a lot for your help. That was a much trickier problem than I expected. Yeah, and less lines, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a winner right there. So let's get that formatted and committed. Let's take a close look at that diff, because I've been changing a lot of stuff. So we can dump that. Not a refactoring branch, I guess, at this point, really, but who cares? So map.1, we did the thing we discussed. Map 2, we did the thing we discussed. 3, added some comments, added the menu. What is this? What was that? Map.lua. Take out. Oh, weird. I can get a... Oh, neat. I can get a language server for this. That's new. Let's install that language server real quick. Maybe it's good. I don't know. What was I doing? Map.lua? Maps.lua? Where was that? Map.lua. Oh, that. Yes. Sanity check. Great. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but this code is all public on GitHub too. I'm gonna do this game in Pickle 8 and see if I like it, and if I do, I think I might take a run at making a bigger, better version in Godot or something and put it on Steam and actually take a shot at being an indie game developer. I think that might be cool. But for this guy, it being what it is, I'm just going to put a GPL license on it, and it's already public on GitHub. Yeah, I think it might be fun. I've done entrepreneurial kind of projects in the past, and I've had mixed success. It was mixed in that I think I'm the prototypical good technologist that is terrible at business, and the stuff I was doing in the past was all consulting work. And you know, if you're working in a service kind of capacity like that, you've got to market yourself and crap, and I don't like to do that. But you know, for like indie game stuff, it's like this is fun. Hanging out at night with you guys and all this is fun. Yeah, coding's fun, and then the business stuff is like upload it to Steam and then, you know, market it to the extent that you can. But it's that kind of marketing is different. That's like Twitter or whatever versus like having to go to meet and greets and crap that I'd probably rather die than do. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give that a go. I'm pretty sure of it. Okay, so that is now resolved. So the next thing I want to take a crack at, let's see what time it is and stuff here. Not too bad. Next thing I want to take a crack at is, let's take a look at this cursor table, which is surely bloated to an unreasonable degree. And I think we want to split this up probably into like a new turn table. So let's just get to work on that. Game dot turn. I'm gonna again refactor all of this later as I understand a little bit better, but I'm pretty sure all this stuff I'm doing here with this game dot stuff isn't even necessary. I think what I want to actually do is this, but I'm gonna do the wrong thing to be consistent with everything else I've done wrong so far, and then we'll refactor it all in one go. I think that'll be the plan. So we have game dot turn. Yeah, that's something I really dislike with how I have all this structured, is everything being global. And to an extent, there's not... I want to say there's nothing I can do about it, but again, where Pickle 8 doesn't actually like honor the Lua module thing, it ties our hands a little bit, so that's unfortunate, but that should be okay. I kind of feel like the culture of programming in Pickle 8 is just to abuse the hell out of global variables, and I'm going to try not to do that, but in all likelihood we're going to end up with more than we would have in a typical programming project, I suspect. You've done it? Abuse globals, you mean? Or yeah, yeah, sure, fair. Yeah, I've never done too much UI programming, but I could see how the temptation would be there to just use globals everywhere. I do. But yeah, I'm gonna try to resist the urge. It's always when you think you're being slick that you get into trouble, you know? That's just the way it is. Do I care where this goes? I guess it's gotta go before cursor. Let's put her here. It's probably fine. And then the obvious thing... Yeah, I like already actually hate what I'm about to do. We're gonna have to do so much refactoring on this. So I want to take this game.cursor.turnEnd guy, and now this is game.turn. .end. Just got rid of some stutter. Oh, no, we didn't. Turn end. I guess my guess is that end is a keyword, obviously. Oh god, now there's all this self-cursor stuff, though. Oh god. Maybe that actually does belong in the cursor. Ugh. I might bail on this for tonight, actually. This is going to turn into this whole thing, I think. Maybe let's do this instead. Yeah. Back out of that. That's going to be its whole thing. Before I start doing any real refactoring, I think I actually want to just start writing unit tests, because generally I think it's fair to say that when you start writing tests, at least to me, it becomes clearer where I should put the boundaries of things. And I allegedly, I think now, oops, do actually have the testing harness in place. I figured out we can make Lua unit work just with this. It's not great, but it works. Like, you know, Lua unit does want you to use Lua modules, but it looks like we can get away with this, just like doing an unbounded or whatever required, such that all this global crap in pick away just gets kind of like copied and pasted here, and then we can run make test. And I didn't see a convenient way to make Lua unit run like more than one file at a time. But again, for a project that's kind of small like this, I mean, like, who cares? This will be fine. So let's see where we are now. But yeah, this is now we have one worthwhile, actually productive unit test. So that's great start. Cramming too much into a single module is painful later too. I can believe that. A UI for Love 2D. I see, yeah. By the way, the big GitHub news. Did you know about GitHub dark mode? That's a thing as of like today. Check that out. Pretty slick. I see what you mean though. The file is a little bit long. I have absolutely seen longer. Yeah, dark mode as of today, I think. Today was like the GitHub universe or summit or whatever it is. If you just go up to like go to like your profile or whatever, and I guess it's gone now because I already did this, but like I had like a little notification guy up there. It's pretty slick. I like it. You did a good job with it. You can only see my one monitor, of course, but I have 4, and I'm running like what a color scheme very similar to Solarized Dark on everything. Because like, dude, yeah, right, dark mode. Because like, without dark mode, it's like you know, you're just gonna burn your eyes out. I was reading more the other day after we chatted last time, by the way, about Love 2D, because you know I'm thinking about like I had mentioned, you know, making a real game out of this if I like how it turns out, and I think at the top of my list so far are Godot and Love 2D. That's fair. Yeah, Sublime. I don't think I ever used Sublime. That's like primarily or only on OS X, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The lack of typing is the only reservation I have about trying to get more ambitious in Lua. So I kind of like Godot for that reason. Oh, it was Windows also. Okay. Because in Godot, it's like you can work in like their custom Godot script or whatever, but also C#. And I don't have a lot of C# experience, but the little bit I have used of it, I found very pleasant and sensible, and I liked it. And I hear now there's very good support for C# on Linux, because I only run Linux systems. So like I'm leaning toward Godot, but I haven't made up my mind by any means. Let's bang out a test or two in 10 minutes or so, then maybe wrap up for the night. Just bang out a quick function for move, trivial, I guess, test. Yeah. So yeah, the terminal-based workflow. So like, I'm a big Vim guy. I've been using Vim for years because I like it because like Vim I love, but almost as important to me as Vim is like Tmux. I mean, just being able to like, you know, I want to split this plane, or I want to split it again. Just like all this kind of crap is like really excellent. Or being able to like suspend sessions. You know, like okay, all of my Vim stuff is just over there, and you know, list the other sessions, and like, oh, is I working on like Tmux or TA conf, and here's this other thing I was working on. I'm like really into the terminal workflow just for that kind of reason. That said, the learning curve is severe, and I mean I've spent like literally over a decade really tuning my RC files, like my Vim RC, my i3 configs, my Tmux configs. It's a hell of a lot of work to get a setup you really like. So I understand using, you know, a GUI editor like Sublime for sure. Go is a good candidate for game, and VLang. So I don't know anything about VLang. I've never even heard of that. Yeah, Vim is punishing. Yeah. If you ever want to become comfortable with it, what was the name of that book? Let me check my physical bookshelf real quick. I think I gave the book I wanted to show you to a coworker, and then the plague broke out, and we're all remote now. So, rip that book. If you ever feel like this is it. If you ever feel like getting comfortable with Vim, though, this is a good book. There's this, and there's a sequel to it. And I had used Vim for a long time, but then I read this, and then I feel like I started using it properly. So if you want to get better at it, that's a good book. That said, you probably have a workflow that works just fine for you, and maybe there is not a need. I like Vim, but I'm not going to pretend it's like the only good option. Okay, yeah, there's a sequel to it too that I really like. It's this. Actually, here, if you're throwing stuff in the shopping cart, this is the sequel to that book, and then this is an excellent Tmux book. Man, there's some horrible links there. I for the last like 18 months or so, I really started using Tmux. Like I would very rarely use multiplexers. Like I would sometimes use Screen, but I got heavy into Tmux, and now it's like just so critical to my workflow. You need to get a really good foundation for Golang. Yeah. The Addison Wesley book is what I learned from. Yeah, the right quit stuff. It's all complicated. I mean, Vim is generally the type of tool that I dislike, which has like, severe learning curves and it's counterintuitive and stuff. But for me, it's actually worth it because like when you get like really good at it, I find it more productive than anything else. Again, I'm not going to say that it's the one true editor or that you can't be productive in other editors, but for me, I'm just comfortable with it. The other thing I really like too is I do think it has the best ergonomics physically, just because like with my Tmux setup and Vim setup and i3 setup, I don't really need a mouse. And again, years ago, earlier in my career, when I had a much more mouse-centric workflow, I'd get, carpal tunnel start to come on and stuff like that. And like, man, that's the one thing software engineers just like do not need in their lives. So for me, just the physical ergonomics of this software setup really works well for me. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same, and I think a lot of power users are that way. You're comfortable on the keyboard, you're fast on the keyboard, and the mouse is useful but slow. But anyway, yeah. So that the Addison Wesley book I linked to there, that's what I learned to go on that, and just one project for hacking on, and I found that to be a very good book. Let me check my physical shelf again. Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure I'm not lying to you here, but because I typically buy O'Reilly, but I think this was highly recommended. So yeah, there's a book there. Mine's all marked up. Oh, excellent, Tiberius. Excellent. The other thing too, like this is like an obvious thing, but just open up Vim, do vert help Vim, and just start reading the manual, because like this. So again, I've been using Vim for like a decade, and really, like, this is embarrassing, but really, like, only this year did I ever start like really digging into the manual and becoming comfortable with, you know, navigating it and stuff. This year I've published a handful of Vim plugins that I use, and you know, they've helped me a lot. Like the thing, you might see me sometimes like type save down there if you look at my bar here, and that's this plugin that I wrote. And this has become essential to my workflow. What did I call this thing? Vim get session or something? Yeah. So this is one of the plugins I've written. I don't think too many people use it, but it's fine. It's for me. What this thing does, so, you know, Vim has the concept of sessions, which is, again, something that a lot of people don't really know. But I've extended it a little bit with this plugin, and what I have, this is super cool in my opinion, is this thing is just a wrapper around Vim sessions, but it ties them intelligently to Git branches. So, for example, I'm on wherever I am. Oops. I'm on master. So I'll do my capital S save here, which is the command that I've bound my plugins functions to, and it'll be open up. Well, no, and I'll close this. Oops. Write everything. Save our session. Close everything, and now let me check out like a branch foo, and I'll go into Vim and I'll open like some crap. It doesn't matter. Let's say we're working on this, and I'll hit save, and I'll finish this work, and I'll go back to master. And now to get back to where it was, I'll just type load, and my plugin is aware of the Vim session, excuse me, that is associated with this Git branch. So I just type load, and I'm back, and I'm working on this. If it's a feature, if it's a bug or whatever, and I finish that, and I go back to the foo branch, and I go in and I click load, and here's this is the stuff we were working on last time we were in the foo branch. And for me, like, this kind of stuff is just like where Vim like really, really, really excels, because when you become like a power user with it, and you're able to write your own plugins and really customize your Vim RC and that kind of stuff, you can just make it do stuff that other editors, at least to my knowledge, simply cannot do. And a lot of it is like really useful, because like for me, like it's stupid, but like this has removed just this thing right now that I've demonstrated has removed a ton of friction and wasted time from my workday. Because, like, again, in my job and even personal projects, it's very common for me to do the typical thing of, like, you've got, you know, maybe a feature branch going somewhere and a bug fix branch somewhere and a master branch somewhere going. And for me, it's like context switching is so painful. Like, I'll be working my feature branch for a while, and I have to go to fix a bug, and then I come back to the feature branch, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I was doing, what files I was doing, what methods. I don't remember anything. But now I don't have to. I just type load, and like whatever I had saved last time just comes back, and usually that is enough to remind me what I was doing and where I was. So again, like Vim, when you're proficient with it, really, really, really excels at being customizable to your workflow. So again, I'm not going to say it's the one true editor. I'm not going to say it's perfect. There's a ton of baggage regarding like how it's designed and its implementation. You can tell it's 30 years old. What plugins am I using? So, okay, these are kind of prototypes. Ignore this cheat stuff. We might. I mentioned I've done some cheat, some open source work. So this is my this is one of my most popular open source projects, and I'm very proud of it. We've got 7,000 stars in GitHub, and presumably hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of downloads when you account for all the package managers and all the platforms and everything like this. But these are plugins that I have written that I haven't really told anyone about yet, that integrate with that tool. So let's put off that discussion. We'll chat about it another night, because I'll probably work on it on stream. But then, yeah, to your question of what am I using? I'm using the plugin that I wrote that I just demonstrated. I'm using Taboo Vim, and this is something I like quite a bit. What Taboo allows you to do is just rename tabs, or at least that it does some other stuff, but I use it for renaming tabs. And for me, this is super helpful. Again, back to a workflow and organization perspective, because like, let's just say, you know, what was I doing? Here, let's just make up a scenario here, right? Let's say we have we want to refactor our cursor. So I'll pull that up, and then I'll pull up, you know, I'll pull up unit and units, and sure, our unit test, whatever. I'll pull open these files, and I don't know, let's pull up some maps. And by the way, you know, if you didn't know, Vim does have tabs natively. Now, okay, so like in our tabs, we have some file names, and that's fine, but I want to be able to rename this just kind of arbitrarily, and what I do is by topic. So I'm going to do taboo rename cursor, and taboo rename units, and I don't know, taboo rename maps. So now, like, I can kind of organize this stuff as I'm working, and the whole point of this for me is just being able to keep like a relatively streamlined mental model in my head of what's going on. And then my plugin that I used saves this cursor information too. It's compatible with this, so I can do save, and now I've saved a session again associated with this Git branch. I can close all this. I can go not look at this project for 2 or 3 days, come back, pull open Vim, and instead of being like, what the hell was I working on, which was my prior workflow, now I type capital L load, and I'm like, oh yeah, right, I was refactoring my cursor and writing tests for the units and defining our maps. So it's just like so much better, right? So I'm using Taboo. I'm using Tabular, which I just use for trivial stuff, like if I wanted to align these equal signs, it's good for that kind of thing. FZF, yeah, that very useful. FZF is like my favorite program in the history of computing. I think there's like so much to say about FZF. I'm not even gonna try. Just my suggestion is just like read this, install it, and master it. It just brings fuzzy finding to everything on the command line, and then with the help of a plugin within Vim. And for me, that totally changed how I use the command line. And again, I'm a very, very heavy command line user, so huge fan of that. This June Gun guy is like easily one of my favorite open source folks right now. He's made some incredible contributions. I have huge respect for him. Goyo, sometimes you'll see me like working on this kind of stuff. I'll have like, I don't know, maybe just like a bunch of crap open, and gets like hard to see or whatever, or like, just like splits everywhere, right? What Goyo does, at least the way I have it configured, is it can full screen things, or full screen, like a buffer. And for me, that's like great, because like, if I'm just like lost in some pane somewhere and I'm squinting at it and I can't see it, I can just full screen it. So that's super useful to me. And then this is just some Go tooling, something that when you're writing Go code automatically manages your imports and your language server integration crap. Nerd Commenter gives you some useful shortcuts if you want to comment out lines and that kind of stuff. Nerd Tree is the very, very popular file browser over here. Fugitive is a Git wrapper. So if you want to like view the blame on a file, you can pop it open like that. That's useful if you're working with a team pretty commonly. And then these a bunch of syntax highlighters for the various other things. So I don't use too many plugins, and I tend to try to lean on just learning Vim really well, because like from what I've seen, like there are plugins that exist literally just because the plugin author didn't know that Vim can like already do what his plugin is doing. And I don't fault these people. I mean, the manual's pretty long and such. It's easy trap to fall into. I think I've probably done it or come close to doing it myself. But yeah, the more I use Vim, the less I use plugins. Though I do use plugins. I'm not like any kind of philosophical purist or anything. But yeah, it's probably about time for me to wrap up for the night. Let's see here. So I guess next time we pick this up. Oh, and just while we're chatting about stuff, yeah, absolutely, Sabir. Just happy to help. By the way, just back to these like little workflow tips. One thing I do is I have let me suspend this tmux session. You can see what I'm talking about. So I have shell scripts that launch tmux sessions for the projects that I work on all the time, and I find this hugely helpful. So again, like back to my cheat project that I just linked, you know, when I have to work on cheat, instead of remember like, oh shit, like which repo, where on my file system, all that, yeah, it's nice. So then I can just be like, okay, I need to work on cheat, let's launch it. And this project is, you know, fairly large, so I've got, you know, nine repos, or well, yeah, 8 repos and a scratch or seven repos, scratch and dot files that I keep open. And this is super nice. This is super useful. So again, I'm just removing that tedious mental overhead of trying to remember where all this shit is. So that is a nice workflow tip that I kind of have developed over the last year or whatever, really leaned into. I'm not saying I'm the only guy who does this. Surely I'm not. The other thing that I've started doing, and I strongly recommend this, is if you have these kind of scripts, just always have your dot files available in a tmux pane or a tmux window. I forget the vocab. Because for me, this is like how I refine my workflow, is that like, you know, I'll be working on cheat or whatever. So, you know, let's pretend we're working on whatever in here. And like I did something and like I just feel like, oh, there's got to be a better way to do this thing that I just did in Vim, or like maybe I forgot how to do something or forgot a mapping or whatever. It's very convenient just to have your dot files for everything really accessible. It just makes it easy to look up how you have your commands mapped and all that. Oh, and this is worth saying too, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to lecture now, but if you don't know what I mean when I say dot files, just dig into this a little bit. You know, when I say dot files, what I'm referring to is the practice of maintaining a separate repository that just contains all your configuration files for the software that you use. And it's very common for people to host these on GitHub and share them. I do host mine on GitHub, but I don't share them. I don't make them public by default, just because I have some stuff in there that is certainly not sensitive, but I'd rather it not be public, because it, like, you know, stuff that like aliases that expose where maps are, where drives are mapped on like corporate networks and stuff. It's not like I'm committing passwords, but I don't really want that public either. But yeah, it's an excellent discipline to get in my opinion, to organize your configuration files in a dot files repository and track everything, because then, at least for me, that was a necessary step on the path to mastery of, Vim, Tmux, et cetera, because it makes it easier to become very intimately familiar with how you have your environment configured. So anyway, that's like kind of the whirlwind tour of my kind of command line workflow and some of the how and why details. But for what it's worth, that has worked pretty well for me for a while now. And if you have a command line workflow, I encourage you to think about some of those tricks. They've worked well for me. But yeah, in any case, I'll probably wrap up here tonight. And other nice thing. So again, Tmux being great. I had all that cheat open, all that stuff open, and I'm done with it now. So I just suspended that Tmux session. It's hard to talk and type. It's all there. So if we want to go back to balance of power, I'll go Tmux attach, bop, and here's this, and it's all there. And I suspend this, and I go TA cheat, and it's all there. Just makes it so much easier to like stay in the flow of a couple projects at the same time. What keyboard are you using? This is a DOS keyboard. And yeah, I like the clicky clacky switches. I think I have cherry reds or something in this guy. Yeah, it's this guy here. When I was young and dumb, at one point, I can't find the link now. It's not exactly this. At one point I had a keyboard like this. I mean, I still have it, but I don't use it as much. Which didn't have lettering on the keycaps, and I bought that, one, because I thought it was cool, and two, because I was like interested in Dvorak or whatever. Hey, okay, that's, yeah, sure thing, Noctis. And again, thanks so much for your help tonight. You were a huge help. I appreciate it. So yeah, have a good night, man. We'll see you next time. But the lack of keycaps really bit me because, I mean, obviously I'm a touch typist. I don't need to look to type for the most part. But I think I mentioned I used to teach as an adjunct professor at a university, and I would teach remotely. And every now and then, like once a month or something, I would need to hit a button like print screen. And it's like, I have no idea where that button is. I press it like, once a month. So I have to apologize to my students and be like, excuse me, I need to Google the image of a keyboard to see where this button is. And I just felt like such a total asshole for that. So I eventually stopped pretending I was an Uber hacker, and I just bought a normal person keyboard with letters on it. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night there too. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I'll probably stream tomorrow and maybe the weekend. Like I said, I'm on PTO tomorrow, so it should be a chill day for me. So maybe we'll have a longer than usual stream. I don't know. But thanks for having out, for hanging out, guys. We'll see you again next time. Have a great night.